far out in space. Our Earth is a blue-green jewel, set in an airless, waterless void. This precious sphere, covered as it is by more than 2/3 water, would more rightly be called planet Ocean, for it was in the ancient sea that all life began, and it is the sea that sustains it still. Some of the ocean's inhabitants have remained perfect and unchanged since the dawn of time. Others have left the sea to walk or crawl upon the land, and some, like the great whales, the seals and sea lions, have returned to it. The creature to have most recently attempted this homecoming is man himself. With faltering, furtive steps, we are just beginning to unravel the timeless mysteries of the oceans, and by doing so, find it not the dangerous, dark, and unwelcoming place of myth, but a fragile and beautiful world in which we are still but mere visitors.
So, good evening everyone, my name is Kaylee and welcome you guys all to Pacific Undersea Gardens and introduce you to our diver Matt, who will be our guide to the small corner of this underwater world today. Do you guys want to welcome our diver with one big wave there? We are presently 5 meters or 15 feet below the water surface, aboard an actual vessel, some 150 feet in length and about 50 feet wide. We have more than 500 animals, all of various species, that are native to our local area, that inhabit the waters surrounding our vessel in a natural but protected environment. So the water you see right now is actually harbor water. We just have protective side tanks to keep all the animals in for food purposes. The water temperature outside the viewing ports is currently 8 degrees Celsius, which is why our diver is wearing his protective dry suit, and that's why he will not feel the least bit cold. In addition to his dry suit, Matt's wearing a weight belt to help control his buoyancy, and at this depth, his air supply will last him up to 90 minutes. Also, through underwater communication, our diver can hear and speak to us. So, how's it going today, Matt?
It's going pretty good. I'd like to welcome everybody to Undersea Gardens. I'm going to be your diver, so it's going to be my job to bring the animals right up to the windows. So all you guys have to do is just sit back and enjoy the show.
For those of you with cameras, please feel free to take pictures. Just make sure your flash is off. And also, if you all could remain seated throughout the entire show, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Crabs, being crustaceans, are members of a group of creatures that in sheer numbers dominate the Earth and have done so for more than 500 million years. The crab's hard shell is in fact its skeleton, so that in order to grow, it must be shed and replaced by a larger one, up to 7 times in a lifetime. Once hatched from its egg, the crab spends the early stages of its life swimming freely amongst the plankton. A master of adaptability, the crab inhabits every corner of the ocean and ranges in size from less than half an inch up to 11 feet across.
The crabs most commonly found in our waters include the red rock, the Dungeness, the Puget Sound king crab, and the hermit crab. Generally solitary dwellers, crabs do prefer to remain hidden in crevices, under rocks, or in the case of the hermit crab, in the discarded shells of other creatures. As you may have noticed there, 2 of the crab's front legs have developed into powerful pinchers for feeding and defense, and in the case of a larger species, a painful wound may be inflicted. Crabs can also shed and regenerate their limbs, and they will often give up a leg to a serious predator in the hopes that they will leave the rest of them alone. The crab you just saw our dive with right now was one of our Dungeness crabs, and those are the crabs you will mainly see in our main show aquarium here.
Another group of creatures capable of regeneration are the sea stars. In fact, in some cases, should the animal be cut into 2 or more pieces, a corresponding number of complete and separate animals will eventually develop. Relying on a remarkable system of hydraulics for locomotion and a single photosensitive cell on the tip of each arm for sight, the sea stars appear as truly otherworldly beings. As successful predators which have adapted to life in the deepest abyss or the shallowest shoreline, the The sea stars prey on shellfish, sponges, anemones, fish, and other sea stars. Once the victim has been located, it's grasped or opened with a pressure sometimes exceeding 100 pounds. The sea star then forces its own stomach out of its body, into and over the meal, where it's digested before being passed back through the mouth.
In our waters here in the Pacific Northwest, we support the greatest variety of sea stars that are found anywhere else on Earth. And one of these, the sunflower star, with its 20 or more arms, it is the world's largest and only found in our waters here. Our diver right now is actually holding a sunflower star for us today. On the underside of the sea star are tens of thousands of tiny tube feet, which enable the animal to glide over the roughest surfaces at speeds of up to 1/8 of a mile per hour. So the natural laws of our job also apply